So this is my custom sump for my 29-gallon Biocube. I built this to fit underneath the stand and to give me the maximum volume of water that I could. I also had a couple other design requirements. One was to use these pads. My local fish store stocks a huge roll of this stuff, and sells are pretty cheap, and I actually enjoy cutting them up into the squares. And I had a lot of them for the way my Biocube is set up now, and it just makes a lot of economical sense to keep using these. So I've got two of these in here. The first one is at the intake. I'll have two 1-inch pipes coming into this section here. One will be the regulated overflow, and then the other one will be the emergency overflow. That'll be a couple inches above the water line, so that if ever the emergency overflow is activated, I'll be able to audibly hear it. Again, as another design requirement, I wanted this thing to be silent, or as close to silent as absolutely possible. So water comes in here. Based on my calculations, this is 4 1/4. So at 600 gallons per hour, it should be 0.8 inches overflowing each one of these weirs in this section right here. The overflows from the chamber 1 into the Refugium are also 4 1/4, so same math applies. So the idea here on this section, and this section is just hovering on its own. The idea is it comes in here, it'll overflow into this bin, and this is where one of my filter pieces are. I just used egg crate to keep it in. Okay, so it'll overflow into here, and this water level will actually be suspended right here at this line based on this weir right here. And that's to keep this submerged and to keep it quiet. So water continues through here, and then it hits my filter sock. Okay, and the idea with the filter sock and this filter is that, me personally, these filters are a lot more economical, but the filter socks absolutely polish the water the best. So the idea is I'll be able to change these out frequently, and I'll be able to wash these until they're no longer usable, and then I'll replace them. I can get a 1 by 6 foot of this for $5, and these are about $5 a piece. So I throw these away. Alright, so continuing on, at this point through here, I don't count this water as a part of my capacity, just because the math's a lot easier without including this, and this is a constantly floating section. So, alright, so after it goes through the filter sock, it'll enter the chamber 1. Chamber 1's going to house a lot of my equipment pumping. I'll have a pump in this area for my skimmer, which will sit here. Okay, I have the Coral Life. I think it's a 65-gallon skimmer. Right now I've got it modified on my Biocube without its stock pump, but now I'll be using the pump that came with it. So it gets mounted into this chamber, and the water will be overflowing through here, but skimmer in there, and then I'm going to be doing a Chaeto reactor, and I will probably pull water out of here. So after that, water is going to flow over here again at 0.8 inches per second, I think it is. So it'll overflow into here, and I've got a 1-inch drop into this section, the Refugium chamber. And the idea with that is I wanted to direct the waterfall. I want it to fall so that I can get a tumbling Chaeto. Okay, I want to be able to tumble it. In the bottom here, I'm going to do Marine Pure 1.5-inch spheres. I don't know how many I need, but I'm going to overdo it a little bit and put those in here. Alright, so this is Refugium. I'm going to go with one of those UFO 150 watt, what are they, grow lights? The red and blue spectrum for growth, for algae and everything that uses photosynthesis. So after this section here, then it'll overflow into here, and this is at 13.5 inches, and I forgot to give the numbers. So this first chamber right here, up to this line without overflow, is 4.98 gallons. So I got my 5 gallons right here. Same thing with this. Well, this one's just a hair bigger. The Refugium, without overflowing, so not counting that 0.8 inches that's going to overflow, this section here is also 5 gallons. Okay, so then we'll come into this section. I may put an egg crate here just to stop Chaeto from getting on and clogging up this filter really fast, but if it maintains the cylinder I'm looking for it to grow, then I won't need to put that, and this will be just fine. But alright, so onto this side over here. So, in this ledge is at 13.5 inches. So 14.5, 13.5. And then we go into this section. This is going to be my bubble gate, obviously. So water will come down here at a pretty low velocity because it's got a pretty wide surface area. My hope is to catch most of the bubbles here. I may end up putting marine pure or somehow otherwise optimizing this area, but I may just leave it the way it is. Then bubble walls. So this first one is 12.5 inches, and the idea with that is I wanted a good little section right here for this stuff to churn and get out those air bubbles before it goes below the second one. And this one's at 13.5 inches long. So it goes through this bubble gate, and then back up, and then I left me a little bit of a ramp here because I didn't want a straight deadfall of water. And this will be my minimum water line here, and it'll be maximum here. This last chamber is also 5 gallons. So total standing volume in this is 14.98 gallons. And its operational flow will be another 0.8 inches on top of that in all cavities. I didn't do the math on that because it's not really relevant to getting it down to the nitty gritty. But the idea with this is to turn my Biocube 29 into like a 46 gallon operating system. I'm going to use a DCT 4000 back here so I can control the rate of it. But this was the design I needed to fill all of my requirements for having a sump. It's 17 by 17, which leaves about a ½ an inch inside the stand. This front wall is 17 inches, and here's the other thing. The operating capacity of this is 15 gallons. If the pumps all stopped and this thing flooded, it can hold 17.5 gallons. That's going to be the requirement for a possible siphon out of the top of my Biocube. So this thing will be able to handle power outages and things of that nature. That's also, that extra 2 gallons comes from here, here, and then obviously all the way across the top. Sorry, I'm not doing very good with the camera. But, alright, so ignore my silicone job. It was the first time I ever did anything like this with glass. It was a lot of work. I had the glass cut locally, and I put all the pieces together. Those guys were really helpful. I made it way stronger than it ever needs to be, hopefully, because if this were to fail and the sides blow out, it's going to push out the sides on my Biocube. So I do not want that to happen, but this is what I got. It should be silent. AutoCAD, I designed this in AutoCAD so that I could get precise measurements, so I could know flow. Hopefully it'll be absolutely silent. And the Refugium, I think I've got the flow just right, where it comes in here, and water naturally wants to travel straight when it falls over something, so it's going to want to churn here, and that keeps it from just skimming across and straight into it because the outflow's here. Got it? So this is going to replace the entire back of my Biocube the way that I have it now. So I have this in AutoCAD. If anybody really wants the drawings on it and stuff so that they can try to replicate it, I'd be happy to give those out. Just hit me up somehow on the channel or through my back end. But this is the optimal design, I think. Oh, sorry, one thing I forgot. In the back here, you could fit up to 2 reactors, but I'm probably not gonna put the reactors in here. I'm gonna install my auto top off that I'm designing into there, and I'll do a video on that because it's pretty cool. But there you go. My sump.